chow time. Oh, no it isn't. It's keto chow core time. Yes, indeed. You guys have probably seen the announcement from Chris and Miriam at Keto Chow. They have a brand new kit in town. It's a brand new recipe that they've never done before. This is the all new chocolate beef protein powder based Keto Chow core shake mix, you guys. And it gets even better because this one with the green on it and the little green leaf is sweetened with stevia. There's no more sucralose in their keto core protein shake mix. Now, if you don't like stevia or you don't want it sweet at all, you just want the pure beef protein powder with all the vitamins and minerals in it, but you just want some chocolatey taste, then you can have the plain unsweetened Keto Chow core chocolate shake mix. Yes, indeed. You guys, I'm very excited about this because a lot of folks cannot have whey. They are allergic to whey. They cannot have the whey isolate, the protein powders, because they're allergic to milk.
Right.
A lot of folks have an issue for some reason with the teeny weeny tiny bit of sucralose that they use to sweeten their regular whey protein drinks with. So they've heard you, they've listened loud and clear, they've taken the most favorite flavor of Keto Chow, best-selling chocolate, yes indeed, and made it into Keto Chow core beef protein powder shake mix. Yes, they have.
Well, I'm kind of excited about it because you get to make some new stuff.
I get to make some new stuff. And I want to go over this first because you guys, with the one that is the plain dairy-free and unsweetened, it does not have the green stripe on it. This one you can use and add whatever sweetener you want or not, right? The several things that Miriam and Chris have said is that this is not as thick of a shake as the whey protein is. It's going to be more like a milk, right? So if you want to add some agar to it to make it a little thicker, you can. Go to their website and they have suggestions on there as to all the different types of sweeteners, including sugar. Hey, if you're not keto, if you're vegan, or not vegan, if you are not worried about sugar, they even have that, and they have suggested amounts to use of every single, like the most popular brands: stevia, erythritol, monk fruit, sucralose, sugar, etc. So go there and check that out. Now, I personally have not seen if they have any recipes up there with this yet.
Right.
So here's what I'm going to do, being Wendy, being crazy scientist in the kitchen. I want to see the difference between using one of my Keto Chow cookie recipes with the whey protein powder versus the new beef protein powder. I want to use it just the way the recipe is written to see how it turns out. Number one, consistency, chewiness, texture, taste, all those things. And then I'm going to go from there and build from that recipe. But I thought instead of saying, oh, you can just swap it out, I need to do that myself. And I got enough packets from Keto Chow that I can do that for everybody. So you guys, we're going to go to the kitchen right now, and I am going to take my maple waffle Keto Chow cookie recipe that I made, and I'm going to change out the flavor packet with the stevia one. And I cannot have almond flour, so it's the one made with coconut flour. I'm going to make it the exact same way. I'm not going to use maple flavoring. I'm going to use vanilla. And instead of using the English toffee better stevia, I'm going to use dark chocolate stevia. And we're going to go from there. So you guys, meet me back here in the kitchen in just a minute. It's Wendy's Crazy Cooking in the Kitchen experiment number 1 with the new chocolate KetoChow Core protein shake mix, and the protein is beef protein powder, not whey, and the sweetener is not sucralose, it's stevia, you guys. So I am super excited about this. Hopefully the cookies turn out. We'll share one way or the other, but this is a crazy experiment in the kitchen, and we're gonna get started baking right now. So I'm really excited about this because if you guys are allergic to milk and you haven't been able to try KetoChow, now you can. You can try the stevia or the unflavored, and you've seen already us talk about that earlier, so I want to get started on the cookies that you're seeing us eat right now, hopefully, fingers crossed. If not, we'll share and tell you why. So let's get started. I have 1 cube or 4 ounces of unsweetened butter. Now in the past, KetoChow has been more salty because they add salt, REDMOND Real Salt, to their KetoChow, and it says right here, right? So it does have sodium in it, so I'm not going to add any. So I'm going to take my butter and I'm going to whip it. I'm going to put the egg in. 1 large egg. Yes, I am. I'm going to put in a teaspoonful of my Molina extract because this one was already open. Just a teaspoon. I'm going to use Encanto monk fruit sweetener. So I'm going to put in 1/2 cup. If I can get it open. There we go. 1/2 cup. Make sure this is 1/2 cup. Yes, it is. Just in case. Half a cup. Instead of the maple flavoring, I am going to use a teaspoon of, I have Better Stevia dark chocolate liquid sweetener. And I'm going to put in, let's put in 1/2 teaspoon at a time. We can add more, but you can't take away from. So let's do that. So that's 1/2 teaspoon of the dark chocolate Better Stevia, and let's beat this up. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to use 2 packages like I did with my maple waffle KetoChow. I don't know if the difference between the beef protein and whey is going to make a difference, but we're going to see, you guys. So it's all about experimenting, doing the experiment. Ooh, man, that smells good. Woo! Yeah, that smells delicious. I'm going to put this in first, then I'm going to add my coconut flour. Now, Harry and I can't use almond flour because it gives us inflammation because of the oxalates. So I'm using a tablespoon of Anthony's organic coconut flour. Almond flour would be a different amount, and you're going to have to figure out the difference in the ratio. So that's a tablespoon of organic coconut flour. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of baking powder, but I'm going to add a teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1.5. Because I don't think it will fluff as well as the one with whey. So let's see what this does. I'm just going to start on slow. This feels just like my maple waffle dough. Actually, it feels a little bit creamier in texture. I'm gonna take these out, off, and then beat them against the side. So hold your ears, folks. Now, Harry, I want you to taste one.
Okay. Well,
that's very mild chocolate. Matter of fact, I hardly taste chocolate at all. Let me see if I have some plain cocoa powder in. Do you taste chocolate? Okay.
very little about.
It's very mild.
Yeah, really
like
mild.
really mild. So, because it doesn't have a lot of cocoa flavoring, I'm going to put more cocoa in mine. I'm going to put a tablespoon in. Now that's going to make it less sweet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to add another half a teaspoon, so a total of 1 whole teaspoon of stevia. And I'm going to give this a good beating because Harry and I licked our beaters.
It's you and me eating it.
I know, but people don't like to see you doing that. So.
Okay.
But,
looks pretty good.
I think it looks good. Feels good. Feels nice and smooth. It feels like normal cookie dough batter to me. It's just a little soft, but we're going to put it in the refrigerator because that's what we do with our KetoChow cookie dough. So let me scrape this off. We're going to put it in the refrigerator and let that butter firm up. You know what? That's a good idea. Taste this. Now, let me get a spoon. Let's taste this batter with the extra chocolate. That's delicious. Taste this. Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
And we're going to put chocolate chips in it.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, we're putting this in to the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. Let it get firm so we can scoop it. We'll be back in 20 minutes for cookies. Yes, indeed.
20 minutes later.
Okay, let it sit in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Now, something I noticed about the beef protein powder base in my cookies versus the whey protein powder that I've used in this recipe. It is moister. Maybe I need to add a little bit more coconut flour than a tablespoon, but coconut flour absorbs moisture. So that's something to think about once this goes on and goes in the pan and all those good things. So it's been sitting in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Now we're gonna scoop it out. I have 1/3 of a cup of Lily's chocolates here that we're gonna divide on top. We may or may not use it all. So let's get started with our cookies. This is a 1.5 inch across cookie scoop or fruit scoop or whatever kind of scoop you want to call it. Now that feels nice. Feels good. Staying nice. And it smells chocolatey. This smells fudgy chocolate. I just don't know because Miriam and Chris both said that the actual shakes, like we talked about when we were doing the discussion earlier about this, is that it just doesn't get as thick. It doesn't get as thick, and they said to use a little bit of gar gum or something to make it thicker for your shakes. I'm wondering if that's going to be the same issue with the cookie dough, if the batter is going to be more runny or not. But we won't know until the cookies come out of the oven. I like doing it live. Plus, it's fun to see. It's a science experiment.
Because, you know, that's kind of a way of doing things. You know, that's how you learn, right?
Well, I think so.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yes, I think so. The only thing I noticed right off the bat was this was not as dry as the ones that I make with the exact same amount of ketochow and coconut flour as the ones that I make with the regular whey protein powder. That's the only difference. I can feel that it's softer. Okay, so now I'm going to top these. Because they're softer, I'm not going to push them down. I'm just going to put some chocolate chips right around the top, because I have a feeling by the softness that these might spread more. So I don't want to smush them down. I want to let them spread on their own. So I'm going to put a little bit of chocolate chips, and you guys come back when I put all the chocolate chips on. This is just a rinse and repeat. I like putting my chocolate chips on top. You don't need as many, so you're not getting the calories or the carbs, and it looks pretty, and you're getting it in your bites. They're not being hidden anywhere in your cookie, huh, Harry?
Yep.
These have chocolate chips, this whole tray, but I've made a tray without chocolate chips. So these cookies right here, these 5 are plain, and I have several left, you guys. So I put in 1/3 of a cup into this bowl. So I would say I probably used 1/4. Look at this. So I have a ton left. So probably 1/4 of a cup.
Wait a minute. Say it again.
Probably not even 1/4 of a cup, because they've got about 6. So we're going to put these in the oven. We're going to put them on in 12 minutes, just like my other cookies are. And they are going in for 12 minutes. I'll check them at 12 minutes. I want a little bit of brown crustiness around the outside. Now, all of my cookies are very soft, so when you take them out, let them rest for 10 minutes and then transfer them to a cooling rack. So we'll be back, fingers crossed, when we have brand new beef protein base made with stevia KetoChow core chocolate chip cookies. Yes, indeed.
And then this happened.
Well, you guys, this is live as far as sharing the boo-boo. Did it work? Didn't it work? And why? Just looking at it and the way it felt in the bowl, I should have stopped and added another tablespoon of coconut flour, because I was right. This is very soft. Beef protein powder is different than whey powder, and I'll share with you what I'm talking about, because they spread out. They did not go up, they went out. So let's take a look. We got pancakes. Woo!
Pretty much, huh?
Hot. Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah, I bet.
But man, they smell good. They smell good. Maybe I could have made brownies with it instead. Why am I not having a problem doing
Could have
this?
used the wrong stuff.
Ow! Well, this thing is getting too stiff. So, I gotta break in my hot pads, you guys. They're too stiff. Now, maybe the way I made it would be better as a brownie as opposed to a cookie, the way it's spread out. What we need to do before we say this did not work is we need to taste test it. It's very soft because just the fact that I touched it. So beef protein powder is going to react totally different in recipes than the whey protein powder did. So I need to experiment because I'm a crazy scientist in the kitchen. Yes, I am. So we're going to let these sit, and then we're going to bring them and do a taste test because I want to see if the taste is correct. The texture obviously isn't because they went flat. Even though I used granulated sugar instead of the other. And also because it was very moist when I put it in the refrigerator, so it needs to have more flour to absorb the liquids and maybe more baking powder as well. So this was the first time of using it, and we'll come back and do a taste test. We can have wafer thin cookies. They make them all the time. They're called lace cookies, if you've ever had one, and they're delicious. You can see through them, and they have chocolate on them, and they're yummy. These may be delicious chocolate flat cookies. I don't know, but we'll come back and we'll be honest in our taste test. Did I or did I not just invent brownie crust cookies?
Yeah, right.
These little guys, they may be flatter than a pancake.
They're good.
But they are chewy. I'm the girl who loves the corner of a brownie. I like the crust of like the Duncan Hines brownie mix.
Yeah.
That chewy crust.
Yeah.
Now,
Wendy was a hand slapper. I'd go to grab it and she'd slap my hand.
this needs more flour, either coconut or almond, and it needs more baking soda to get it to rise. But other than that, and other than the fact that this is a thin cookie, these are delicious.
Yeah.
If you like chewy brownie crust,
We had one.
if you like chewy brownie crust, hey, go no further. Am I going to experiment more with these? Yes, because the flavor is there, but because of the beef, I've got to do some other things with this to get them more fluffy and taller without using almond flour because we can't have it. So you guys, there you have it. I'm calling them brownie crust cookies. Yes, indeed. Well, you guys, is it a pass or is it a fail? Well, that's up in the air.
Yeah.
And I'll share right now with you what these cookies are. So here's the cookies. Yes, they are flat, right? But let me tell you, if you like the crust around a Duncan Hines brownie when you make it, that chewy texture all around, because I literally have made a box. This is way back when, and I don't mean to trigger anybody, but I have cut the crust around, right? About a quarter of an inch, half inch, and ate just the crust and left the brownie for everybody else because I only want the crust.
This is the truth because she used to slap my hand away. We're talking years ago.
About crust.
About the crust.
Yes.
And she used to slap me. She would let me go
I
near
didn't
it.
slap. I pretended. I did not slap. Here's your napkin.
I got the scars to prove it.
Oh, no, you don't. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. These have been sitting out. They are very, very, very soft when you take them out of the oven. But I cooked them for 15 minutes until they got a little bit darker brown. Darker on the outside. I put the chocolate chips on it. These are a work in process. These are thin cookies. Have you ever had a lace cookie where it's got the chocolate on it, the texture of it, right? These are good. If you like the chewy texture of the crust around a brownie, then these are not a fail. If you want a light, fluffy cookie that's tall, Harry's impatient, then these are not the cookie for you. But this was the first recipe that I was able to make. So Harry wants the cookie. So here you go. I'm going to break the cookie. Here's the cookie, wafer thin. I was afraid of it, and I almost added more almond to it before I put it in the refrigerator, and next time I will. There you go, dear. Okay, I want you to look at it, Harry. I want you to smell it. Now remember, the only thing I added to this recipe was a tablespoon of chocolate, because when I tasted it,
You know what
it
it
was
smells
too
like?
mild.
It almost smells like a brownie. Kinda.
Of course it does. It tastes like brownie crust cookies.
Can I eat it now?
Yes, you can eat it. Tell me what you think. The crust of a brownie. I'm telling you. It's the crust of a brownie.
I need a glass of milk.
Or a cup of coffee.
Oh, definitely a cup of coffee with these. Oh my goodness. These would be perfect. Yes.
I'm wondering if when I make my 3-minute ice cream,
Yeah.
it's not going to be as creamy because it doesn't have any milk in it.
So can you...
And we'll have to make some. But you guys, yes, these are flat. Are they delicious? Yes, they are. They are chewy. They don't snap. They're chewy. They're a little snappy, little chewy, and they have great flavor. They're chocolate. They've got the chip in it. But are they the fluffy cookie? No, they are not. So I'm going to get back to the drawing board. Are these a fail? I say no,
they're
absolutely
not a fail.
not.
They're great. They just don't look
They
like
are chewy.
your regular kind of cookie.
Right,
That's all.
because they are flat.
Other than that, I think they're...
Well, what are those flat cookies we get in the long box that are the ginger windmills that you get from Europe that are just snappy, thin, delicious?
Right. Really thin. Yeah, I know.
Well, who says cookies have to be fat and fluffy? Right?
Oh, right.
These taste like chocolate.
These are
They've
great.
got chocolate chips in them. They're chewy. They're delicious. So I'm saying they're not what I expected, but are they a win? Yes, they are. Am I going to go back to
gonna eat that?
Am I going to eat that? Would you like that?
Yeah, can I?
Okay, you can have that one. Because I partook of one when they came out of the oven.
Well,
Yes, I did. So the good news is, for those of you who cannot have whey protein, for those of you who did not want whey protein, for those of you who do not like sucralose, for those of you who do not want sucralose, then you can have the stevia, unless you don't like stevia too. And if you don't, I say go pure, unsweetened chocolate beef protein powder and make it your whey, is what I'm saying. Okay? And I think there are a lot of things you can add as far as your fats, same as anything else. You can add butter, you can add avocado oil, you can add ghee, you can add heavy cream back in. One thing that Chris and Miriam stated for sure is you need to mix this with hot water, not boiling, but about 120 degree water in order for it to shake up and blend, and put it in the blender or use an emulsifier, an emulsion stick to blend it, because the beef protein does not whip up like the whey protein does. And it does not get that thick, rich, malty type of consistency when you leave it in the refrigerator overnight. It's a thinner consistency. It's more like a nice, thick almond milk or chocolate milk that you get. And you can just correct that by adding a little guar gum into that. And so I think this is a great product. I really can see the success in that. I can see the success with the stevia and the protein. Now, here's another thing. If you're doing ketovore and you have eliminated dairy, then this is for you. If you want to make it a one-off and have a BBBE with one of these on occasion and maybe make a pudding out of it or a cookie or a custard, then this one is for you as well. It's very, very good. It's very, very nice. Harry, you may not have another cookie, dear. You need to wait. You need to wait. You like them. Mm-hmm. Harry approves, and Sally keeps hearing the word cookies, so she keeps wanting to get on there. So I'm sure, looking forward to recipes from KetoChow on what you can do with these. And I am going to continue in my kitchen to work with these. And tomorrow I'm going to try something different cookie-wise and see if I can get them fluffier and more cookie-like as opposed to my brownie crust cookies with chocolate chips. By the way, can you see the chocolate chips in here? I put Lily's chocolate chips in there. See the pretty shiny chocolate chips? It's absolutely delicious. And I think this is a win-win for everybody. So we are super excited about their new product. Congratulations, KetoChow. And thank you for sharing this and allowing us to share with everybody else. And don't forget, you guys, we have a 10% discount down in the description below. Now, they have changed some things and they've made an announcement on their videos that anything under $100 going forward, they are going to have to add shipping back to it because they did not want to raise the price yet again. Everything, the cost of all products across the board because of gas, delivery, everything else has gone up. So in order to hold the prices at their current price, they've had to add, if you are getting $99 or less, you're going to get charged shipping. They get the best discount because they do bulk shipping. Otherwise, $100 and up, that $100 break will get you free shipping. So add a few to your regular order, get that $100 so you can add these and give them a try. If you have somebody in your family that's highly allergic to milk, this would be a great substitute. This would be a great alternative for them. Don't you think, Carrie?
Yeah, yeah.
Either one,
What
the unsweetened or the stevia. We love stevia. We use it all the time. It's the one with the, oh, and that's another thing. The carbs on this, total carbs on the protein beef, the powdered protein beef, the powdered beef protein, pardon me. The powdered beef protein is only 4 total grams of carbs. So depending on the sweetener that you use, in this one, stevia is 0, sucralose is 0. You know, you would be needing to add those total carbs to your recipes just like you would whenever you make cookies or anything where you're adding the sugar substitutes in. So you need to weigh that factor in as well. And anything else I'm forgetting, Harry?
No.
What are you picking up, little Sally girl? Because she's just really upset.
She keeps trying to climb up
well,
on
she
me.
can't have one of these because she thinks she will. Yeah, she smells cookies, but she can't have one because they're chocolate.
Chocolate, baby.
Maybe Chris and Miriam need to make some meat-flavored beef protein powder. Well, we have the beef base. She's had the gravy and stuff from there, so
that's true.
They've already done it. It's already there. They already
Yeah.
have it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring that little bell, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Experiment number 2. Yes, indeed. But I'm calling these brownie crust cookies. And Harry approved.
Oh, yeah. How about you? No,
Can you say goodnight? Say goodnight. Say goodnight. What? I didn't hear you. Say goodnight. What?